Your house. You.
And he's making an impression on his mother.
It's an absolute dream.
10 popular movies from your childhood that became cartoons. You remember the movies, you watched them 100 times on VHS, you quoted them with your friends, and maybe you even tried to copy some of their epic moves. But what if I told you that Hollywood turned some of your favorite movies into Saturday morning cartoons? Some of them made sense, and some, well, let's just say they had no business being a kid-friendly show. Let's check out 10 popular movies from your childhood that became cartoons.
Your house.
But the fun has just begun.
Just add water for instant gas. Might come in.
The best costume you could come up with.
What costume?
Number 1, Beetlejuice, the animated series. Beetlejuice was a dark, quirky comedy about the afterlife, but the cartoon? Well, it turned Beetlejuice into Lydia Dietz's ghostly BFF instead of a creepy bio-exorcist. The show leaned hard into Tim Burton's weird and whimsical style, and honestly, it kind of worked. Beginning in 1989, it ran for 4 seasons, and if you grew up in the late 80s and early 90s, you probably still remember it. 2, Rambo, the Force of Freedom. You know what kids love? Cartoons about a war veteran with PTSD. Well, what? Well, in Rambo, the Force of Freedom, the creators turned John Rambo into a kid-friendly action hero who fought over-the-top villains instead of, real-world war trauma. It was basically G.I. Joe, but with Rambo in a headband. The Force of Freedom aired 65 episodes beginning in the fall of '86. Oh, and according to some online articles I read, apparently several people involved with the Rambo movies were embarrassed that they even existed. Oh, what do you mean embarrassed? That was a good movie, a good cartoon. Mr. T made a cartoon, I can make a cartoon. Number 3, Back to the Future, the animated series. Great Scott, of course Back to the Future got a cartoon. But instead of just Marty and Doc traveling through time, we get Doc's whole family involved, including his 2 awkward sons, Jules and Vern.
Jules! And Vern! It means your future hasn't been written yet. No one's had.
And Vern. And get this, Christopher Lloyd actually reprised his role in the live-action segments in between the cartoons.
Time travel tip. Airmail. Watch out for the sandbag. Sandbag? What sandbag?
The show only lasted 2 seasons, but it was kind of fun. Number 4, Conan the Adventurer. Never knew about this one. In Conan the Barbarian, Arnold Schwarzenegger slashed his way through enemies and crushed his foes. In Conan the Adventurer, he fought snake people.
The soul of one who's loved.
I've heard enough madness. Jessamine could never love you.
Conan, no, don't! He needs my help!
You see, barbarian, she does love me. Come, Jessamine! Misha Drago Phrygia! Jessamine!
Yeah, to make it kid-friendly somehow. They removed the blood and the crush your enemy's attitude, but hey, at least the battles were still kind of epic. Number 5 is RoboCop, the animated series. RoboCop, a hyper-violent dystopian action movie about a cyborg cop, so obviously, let's turn it into a kid show. Instead of gory shootouts, we got pew battles, toned down crime, and RoboCop that never actually killed anyone. Because that totally makes sense, right? This short-lived series aired as part of the weekly Marvel Action Universe programming block in 1988. Unable to find an audience, it lasted 12 episodes.
Oh no, not again.
Popped up again in number 6 with Teen Wolf. High school basketball, cool. Turning into a werewolf, even cooler. Having a werewolf family and wacky hijinks in every episode? Yeah, that's what Teen Wolf the animated series was all about. The 1986 cartoon, based on the 1985 Michael J. Fox cult comedy, ran for 2 seasons. Some notable changes from the movie. Scott Howard and his family live in a fictional town called Wolverton, which is constantly drawing tourists because of its history of werewolf sightings. And unlike the film, the cartoon gave Scott a little sister and grandparents. Kind of fun, weird, and it had one of the catchiest theme songs of the 80s. Number 7, The Karate Kid.
Now punch. Hard. What's the matter, you? Some kind of girl or something? Punch! Drive a punch!
Do you expect the Karate Kid cartoon to be about karate tournaments? No. Daniel and Mr. Miyagi travel the world searching for a magic shrine instead, because, well, why not? It was more Indiana Jones than Karate Kid, but hey, at least Mr. Miyagi still had wise words of wisdom.
Well, boy.
Oh, that wimp? He ran out on me.
Kara, let feet rule heart. Bravery not come easy to everyone.
Mr. Miyagi, you have to teach Kala balance like you taught me.
Why?
Why? Because I was afraid before you taught me, remember?
Remember, big difference. Difference is you ask Miyagi to teach. Boy must make own choice.
It out okay, but I still feel like I failed as a teacher.
Succeeding, failing is how you become the teacher, Daniel-san.
The short-lived 1989 cartoon ran for 13 episodes on Saturday mornings. Number 8, Godzilla. Instead of destroying cities, this Godzilla was a hero, and he had a nephew. Yep, Gedzuki, because every monster needs a goofy sidekick. Once you hear Gedzuki's voice, though, you'll never forget it.
Godzilla and Godzuki.
Now get up on deck. And no more hide and seek, okay?
Ted's Excellent Adventures. Keanu Reeves, Alex Winter, and even George Carlin all voiced their characters for the first season, but by season 2, totally different actors. Bogus. Finally, we'll talk Police Academy, the animated series. Yeah, there's a cartoon based on the R-rated raunchy comedy. Now, even I don't remember this one, but 65 episodes were apparently produced, and the show ran weekday afternoons. It had no crude jokes, obviously, but still had the ridiculous sound effects.
Not from me.
Classic 80s cartoon chaos. So how many of those cartoons do you remember? Which of them did you actually watch? Which ones did I forget? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to follow for more nostalgic TV and movie content. And stay totally excellent.
Your house. Add water for instant gas.
Fixed it.
You.
One man. And he's making an impression on his mother.
It's an absolute dream. And he can sleep in my room.
With bulletproof titanium robotic parts and with computer-enhanced motor and sensory. And Ted.
Noah's wife, we're in danger of flunking most heinously tomorrow.
A force from the future.
Can we go anywhere we want?
I was to help fulfill the destiny of the two great ones, Bill and...
We all are.
What about guns? When do we get guns?
You will be schooled in fire